All right. Don't fret.
Microphone check. Microphone check. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
So here's the question: like, where does that come from? Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Why don't people just talk?
I think because it sounds more official as a test. People want to know that you're testing a microphone and not just talking, but that there's an actual test going on. So you do test 1 2 3, microphone check, and then everybody knows that that's the standard operating procedure for testing the mics.
So if you're just now joining us, we have not started. We wanted to start just a skosh early because we wanted to do a mic test and a video test. So if you're joining us, looks like we've got about 400 people here already. Go over to the chat section and just let us know where you're calling in from. That Bob says, former broadcaster, great test. All right. So welcome, Bob. Welcome, Margaret, Kathleen, Ron. Let us know where you're calling in from. We're always curious because, you know, on our last broadcast, we actually had people from South Africa.
Oh, no kidding.
And I'm like, how did they learn about us?
You know what? It's amazing about the internet these days.
The World Wide Webs. Oh, Santa Cruz, California. Nicole, I was just there surfing last week. So awesome. Sarasota, LA, Villages, Florida, Huntington Beach, California. Oh, a lot of people from California and Florida here.
Well,
big shout out, by the way, huge shout out to our dear friends at the California Association of Realtors, the Texas Association of Realtors, and Florida Association of Realtors. Most of you are here because we work very closely with them to bring this education and this knowledge to you. So huge shout out to our partners there. And with that, Chris,
it's time to get started. It's 11 o'clock.
Let's get rolling.
And we've got so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, guys. Go ahead, do me a favor. While you're here and you're just logging in and you're maybe settling in with your coffee, go to Instagram, go and follow us at The Paperless Agent. You'll get funny stuff from Gary and I from time to time. Definitely put a chuckle in your day. With that, because we're two chuckleheads just chuckling it up on Instagram. But
now I want to share with everybody what's going to happen today, because as you know, I love removing any sense of, hey, what's going on here? So here's what's going to happen is for the next hour, we are going to do rapid fire education because we have a 33-point listing marketing checklist. And so here's what I'm going to recommend. Take notes, take screenshots, because this is going to be rapid fire. And then at the end of that 33-point education, we're going to talk about additional tools and resources that you can use to amplify your business. And then we're going to stick around for 30 to 45 minutes, and we're going to do intense Q&A. And that's why it's really important. Every time I'm looking over here, I'm looking at my other screen, seeing your questions. It's really important that this is highly engaging. We want you to go to the chat section and ask questions as they pop up in your mind. Now, a few times we'll stop and answer questions, but most of your questions will be answered during Q&A. So would love for you to ask a lot of questions today.
Well, if you're just signing on, if you're just logging in, I'm Chris Scott. This is Gary Kreth. We're with The Paperless Agent, and today we're going to be covering our 33-point listing marketing checklist.
Yes.
And so there's a big reason why we're here today to talk about marketing our listings. And there is a study, or a report, I should say, that the National Association of Realtors conducts every single year. And they ask home sellers, what's the number one thing that you want your real estate agent to do for you?
So and what is that number one thing?
Every year, it's the same thing. They say, we want the real estate agent to help us market the home to potential buyers. That's what they want us to do. And that's why this topic is so important, because if we don't give them what they want, guess what? They're going to be not happy, dissatisfied, not referring us.
Well, and here's the issue, and we're going to talk a lot about this, is that the number one reason that sellers ask you and me to discount our commission
is because they think all we're going to do is put a sign in the yard,
put the home in the MLS,
and then pray that it sells.
And here's the issue, is that that's the number one reason. So what you're going to learn today is how to write this word down, how to differentiate yourself from everybody else out there that you're competing against, so that question never comes up again.
Well, and here's the other thing. If you do listing marketing right, not only will that service your sellers and make them very happy, because it's going to get that exposed to more potential buyers in the marketplace. Here's the other thing it's going to do. It creates opportunities for us, because what does it do? It gets the people in the marketplace who are in the market to buy and sell real estate. So here's what we're going to do. I wanted to take just a moment. If this is the first time you're joining us, I wanted to introduce who we are. While we're doing that, why don't you go ahead and go to the chat section and just tell us what the one thing is that you would like to take away from your time with us today. Go ahead and give us specifics and details, and we'll do our best to tailor today's presentation. I'm going to introduce this guy first before he can introduce me. This is Gary Kretz. He is our sales and business development expert. He's got 21 years of top producing real estate sales experience. Yes, Gary sells real estate today at our real estate practice here in Austin, Texas. Gary's been featured by Apple Computer. That's right. He put us on the map with Apple Computer. He's a commercial and residential investor and a real estate tech investor advisor. Now, here's the thing, and why we want to learn from Gary today, and what we're going to learn from Gary today, is that Gary honed his craft in working with home sellers by going on none other than, he actually went on 6 listing appointments every week.
That's
6 listing appointments
almost every day.
Oh, every single week.
I had to take one day off.
He had to take one day off, but that is the practice that he was in, where he developed these skills, understood and began to understand what is it that sellers want and how can I deliver that to them. And so we're going to be learning from this expert in sales and business development, and most importantly, working with listings.
And this gentleman right here, this is Christopher Scott. Chris, you have been in marketing real estate and helping agents and educating them for 19 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe it? 19 years. And in fact, Chris, in the beginning of your career, Chris was the head of the consumer marketing division for Brian Buffini. And he did that for 11 years straight. He worked side by side with Brian. And in fact, if you've ever been a member of Brian's program, Chris created the little blue box.
It's a white box.
It's a white box now. But that's what this guy created. And now he is a digital marketing expert. He's taken all of his expertise from offline to online. And more recently, he ran the sales and marketing divisions for a 2-time Inc. 500 winning company. You guys won that 2 years in a row, which is a huge accomplishment. And now he's my partner here at Paperless Agent and in our real estate firm. And Chris, you're managing pages with over, it's actually, I've updated this, it's over 240,000 fans. And he's currently generating for our different businesses over 6,000 leads a month. And the reason that I want to share that with you is everything that we're talking about today, how to differentiate yourself during a listing appointment, how to win those listings, is coming from this guy. And then I go out in the field and I use it to win listings. So that's what we're doing. We're going to share with you everything that we're doing. Now, real quick, Chris, do you want me to share with you what
maybe just hit on a few different things here so we can make sure
Jennifer
we can tailor
wants to learn how to win a listing. Yep. Nicole wants more listings and fewer buyers. We're going to talk about that. Cynthia nails it. How I can stand out to be different than all of the others. Tanya says, I need a powerful listing presentation. Somebody said, how do I advertise on Facebook to win? So lots of
excellent.
Get more listings and more appointments.
Well, here's what I want to share with you guys. If you're looking at my screen right now, you're going to see the source of all of the information I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to cover 33 different points of marketing that we can use to market a listing, okay? It's basically the entire plan of what I do whenever we take on a listing. I document all of this, not only for myself, but for our sellers. Gary uses this document to be able to show our sellers what we're going to do for them.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to let you guys know, I'm going to talk more about this property market. I refer to this as a property marketing plan. Gary likes to call it the go-to market plan. But this document here is what I'm going to base all of what we're going to share. And later on, we're going to dive into more detail about this specific document and how you can use this in working with your sellers. But without further ado, we've got 33 points to cover. So I'm going to just jump into the first point.
Write these down as we go through it, because we're going to have to talk fast to get through all 33.
Yes. And if I'm talking too fast, I'm sorry, but I got to make sure we cover all of it and we can answer any questions during Q&A. The first thing that we're going to talk about today is posting a video tour, right? Posting a video tour.
Now, I don't want everybody here to freak out, because shooting video tour does not mean that you have to be on the video.
No, no. And here's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about posting a video tour. I'm actually going to pull up one of our listings here that we currently have on the marketplace. This is on 9709 Angel Wild Drive, listed at $6 million. And you can see we have a nice video tour. I'm not going to hit play on this guy because I don't want
it might crash.
It might crash everything. Webcast. But I wanted to show you an example, and this video tour is showing up on our website. Okay, so a video tour. Why do we want to do video? Well, Facebook did a study, and here's what's really fascinating about video is that Facebook did the study, and what they found is that if a person views just a couple of seconds of video, just a couple of seconds of video, that there's this huge impact on their impact of brand awareness. Meaning,
so why is brand awareness important?
Here's the thing. When they think of real estate, who are they going to think of?
Ghostbusters.
They're going to think of whose video they last saw.
Okay.
And if they see that consistently, here's the thing. They found that if somebody watches a video for just like a few seconds, that there was this massive impact. So that's the first one. Now, a lot of you might be saying, I'm not comfortable doing video. I don't know how to do video. I totally understand. So let me show you a quick little hack on how you can not do video, but still do video at the same time.
Now, this is really cool. You might want to write this down because we used to have to use a third-party slideshow creator.
Yeah,
we don't have to do that anymore.
No, there used to be this. So this is a free tool on Facebook. So this is some of you might be familiar with it. Maybe some of you are not. I'm going to pull up our actual Facebook business page, and they have this cool tool called the slideshow feature. So what it allows you to do is to take up to 10 photos, and it will create the video for you, sort of like that Ken Burns style transitioning video, right? And so let me show you how to do it real quick, so that if you guys are not familiar or uncomfortable doing video, all you have to do is go to your Facebook business page, click on photo video. You're going to see where it says create slideshow. What that's going to do is you can add up to 10 photos to create a video. You just click on that and then come over here, click on add videos. And I'm going to upload a bunch of videos, right? Photos. I'm sorry. I'm going to upload a couple of photos. I'm going to do it for that same listing there that I was just showing you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get some from the interior. 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. You can see we have many more photos, so I have to create multiple. So here's what it's going to do. It's going to quickly upload all of those photos. And what I can do is change the image duration, because what's going to happen is this is a slideshow feature, so it's going to go from one photo to the next, right? So I'm going to change the image duration to 2 seconds. I'm going to change that transition from none to fade. So when it's on none, it's a real choppy transition. It'll just go boop, 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 right? But if I click on fade, it's going to nicely transition into. Now, here's the real kicker for this, because a video is nice, but a video is a lot more powerful when there's music. So I can click on the music tab, and I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I'm just going to click on it here.
They won't be able to.
They won't be able to hear it. Okay. Well, you guys might not be able to hear the music section of it, but you can add music without having to do anything. All right. Isn't that really cool? Now watch what I do. You can see all the photos. You can see that this results in a 20-second video, and I just click on create slideshow. And what that'll do is it'll allow me to post this, and I can repurpose this video on Facebook as well as posting it on other places.
Like Instagram. I love that.
And put it on Instagram. So that's how easy it is to create a video. I just took 10 photos, uploaded it to Facebook, and it made the video for me. But gosh, we've got still 32 more things to cover.
Right.
So the second thing is to use professional photography and staging.
This is so critical. I cannot tell you how many times I see mistakes made in promoting and marketing a listing because they did not prepare the house first.
I think this is one of those cases where a picture or pictures tell a few thousand words.
Exactly.
This is the same listing, right? This is the same listing.
Yeah, these two photos are the same listing, and both of these photos were on MLS. Now, the photo on the left was a photo from a realtor who took the photo with their phone and posted these photos on the MLS. The house didn't sell.
And it became an expired listing, yes. And then guess who got it?
They called me, and I said, oh, well, I can see what number one problem is. So I had them pay for the staging. I want to clarify. I had them pay for the staging. I paid for the professional photography. The house sold in a week.
And I mean, it's clear why, right?
It is.
In that first version, you're just not getting enough interest from people viewing that online. And that second version, it's just going to get people's attention.
Yeah.
A number of studies have been done, and they found that the number one thing that people who are in the market to buy and sell real estate, what do they want to see on the websites? They want to see photos. Lots of good-looking photos of real estate.
Yep. And now, by the way, things have transitioned. It's not just photos. They're demanding video.
Video as well. And so that leads me to the third point in our 33-point marketing checklist, listing marketing checklist, is to use drone photos and video. Now, I will say this. You probably can't do this for every single listing. It won't make sense for every single listing,
That's
right?
correct. Yeah, so and by the way, there's 2 different ways to do this.
Okay.
You hire somebody,
okay,
or you get your own drone.
Gotcha.
Now,
we do both.
We do both because for less expensive properties, heck, I'll get my drone out there and I'll shoot it. Yep.
Which one do you have?
Gosh.
It's that really nice one that has that auto stabilizing in it.
It's really incredible. I'll have to find out what it is. But here's the thing: it cost $1,000, and so
that's some hardcore cash. So maybe sometimes it makes sense to hire somebody to do it.
Yeah, and now back in the day, hiring a drone videographer cost several $1,000s. Now you can get it done for like $500.
Well, what for us, our criteria in using it is it's two things really. It's one, it's price point, but then the other part, which drone photography is really good, or drone video or photos are really good at doing, is communicating lifestyle. Particularly if you have, for us, if it's a waterfront property, or if there's something unique about the neighborhood, or like the one that Gary's you're actually gonna do one here later today. Yeah. Where the property is kind of close to downtown, but it's not in downtown. So he's going to get the drone footage to go look up, and you can see the downtown skyline behind it. So it just adds some of those really inviting and lifestyle views to be able to really differentiate. Remember, we're trying to differentiate. If someone just sees photos of a house and now photos in a video, remember, and that, in fact, if I show you this one listing that we have on the marketplace here, in this video, I'm not going to pull it up, but in this video, there's a bunch of drone footage that's included in this video because it just looks amazing and is a great way to stand out. I'm going to move on to the next point.
Yes.
We're on point number 4, which is to use professional copywriting techniques. Okay.
So critical. So critical.
So I think the best way I can do this is just to give you a few of the techniques. One of the professional copywriting techniques is to show people an advantage by appealing to human desires. All right. So here's how this works. I could tell you, Gary, that this house is lakefront property.
Yep.
Or I could give you a narrative about the envious looks on your friends' faces as they look out your lakefront view at your first housewarming party.
You know what that just did? It created this image and this story in my mind. I can see it happening now. I can see me living there. But if you just say lakefront property, all I see is in my head, okay, it's on the water.
It's on the water. But there's something about putting yourself in that situation of what you know will take place at your first housewarming party, is people are going to be looking around like, man, this is amazing. That, or you're communicating the same thing. It just has emotional impact. So what are the here's 10 triggers for basic human desires. You've got money and a better job, security in old age, population, praise from others. Popularity. What did I say? Population?
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to populate people. No, it's popularity, praise from others, more comfort, social advancement, improved appearance, personal prestige, better health, and increased enjoyment. And so when we speak in this type of language, this is psychological because of the way we're conditioned in our culture, is that these trigger our attention.
Yes.
They trigger understanding.
Yeah. And they trigger this emotional attachment to the situation. And I love this, is be really specific. You taught me this, is that like when you're sharing statistics, even like when I do statistic reporting, is go 2 decimals deep.
Yes.
Like really be specific about what you're communicating. So I love this.
Well, if I were to say, hey, it's about 10%, or you know what, it is 10%, or it's 10.45%, the more detail, the more credible the information is. So here's a great example of, I could say it's close to downtown restaurants and shops.
So what's the problem with this, Chris? Because it's all subjective. Like, what does close mean to you?
Close. I mean, if you live in Southern California, close is like an hour away. But if you live, in Austin, close is maybe a half hour away. Or if you live in a smaller town, it's 5 minutes away.
Well, for me, because I live near downtown, if you say it's close to downtown, I'm thinking it's 5 minutes.
Right.
So,
for me, I would even say that I'm close to downtown, but I'm 20 minutes away. Right.
Exactly. And so this is where you get specific. It's only 1.4 miles from downtown restaurants and shops.
So here's another thing that professional copywriters use, is they use power words. I'm going to run through these really quickly. What I suggest that you do is just take a screenshot of this. But when you use these power words, what happens is because Again, going back to the psychology in our culture, when we read these words, they stand out to us, right? They have more meaning than just the word alone, because it provokes us a little bit, either mentally, emotionally. So using words like announcing, discovery, easy, guarantee, health, introducing, love, magic, miracle, money, new, power, proven, quick, results, revolutionary, safety, save, secret, special offer, startling, surefire, surprising, and you, these words tend to jump out off of a page or a web or on a website or on our phone when we read them.
Yes. Now, I want to pause for just 1 second. I want to address a question. A lot of people are saying, yeah, this is once we get the listing, but how do we get the listing appointment? We're actually showing you exactly how to get the listing appointment. So, you have to know these 33 points in order to be able to communicate that.
I'm going to park. Let me just pause for a second. So here's the thing. A lot of times people will say, how do I get the appointment? How do I get the appointment? How do I get the appointment? What's the 5-step plan to get the appointment? I think the first thing that we have to understand that's necessary is that in order to get appointments and to win listings, is it first starts with a different promise.
Yes.
Right? So if you are the same as everybody else and you're struggling to get the same thing, there's no differentiation, which means when you are having that conversation to get the listing appointment, to be able to schedule it, or when you show up, if you don't have a different discussion, a different conversation based off of the different promise, then you're going to look and sound like everybody else. And here's the problem with that, is that these days most people know somebody already. Like they know somebody with their license.
In real estate, of course.
They know somebody with their license. So it's really up to us to be able to be very proactive in our marketing, proactive in our in communicating with our sphere of influence, that these are the types of promises that we make. That, hey, when somebody works with us, we don't just put a sign in the yard, put in the MLS, and pray that it sells. In fact, we're going to use my 8-week marketing plan to sell this, or my 33 listing marketing checklist. So it starts with making a better quality promise, so that you can start speaking to that promise from the very early stages, which starts in your marketing, which goes to your prospecting, which then goes to your actual phone calls, and then to servicing them as a client. So it all starts with making a different quality promise. As we start getting towards the end of this marketing checklist, this 33-point marketing checklist, what we're going to do is we're going to start talking about scripts. We're going to start talking about some narratives, things that you can utilize, that you can start speaking to improve your chances to be able to get more listing appointments down and signed agreements. Now, during Q&A, if people have questions about what are some of the best tactics, we can get into that, because I'll tell you, it's not difficult if you rely on consistency. So with that, I don't want to keep dwelling. I want to get on the 5th point, because we still got, I don't know, a whole bunch more to do. The next thing is post a lifestyle map. Let me actually pull up that particular listing so you guys can see.
Which, by the way, lifestyle map is it's a complicated term to describe basically what are the different features around the house. What is the lifestyle like? So we're going to show you an example of a lifestyle map of a listing that I had in downtown Austin.
So it's just a map with the stuff around the listing on a web page, right? So that's a lifestyle map. Lifestyle maps are actually really helpful for helping your web pages with property on it getting ranked and shown on Google, which we'll talk about more soon. Another thing that you can do is to share a seller interview video. This is where you ask the seller to talk about the house.
Yeah, and because who can speak better about what the lifestyle is like in that house and in that neighborhood than the people living there?
Yep.
And it also, by the way, you want to talk about emotional trigger? When potential buyers see the actual homeowner sharing the joy of what it's like, it's an emotional trigger. It draws you in. It tells the story of being there.
Another thing that I would suggest that you guys do is to share a digital flyer. You're going to want to share this with the seller. You want to have them share this with the people that they know, right? So that they've got tools to refer their own house. Now, this is important for anybody who's thinking of getting listings. And whenever we market a listing, one of the objectives that we have is to make sure that it's doing the work to duplicate the listing. Now, how do we do that? Well, we need to make sure that people see us in the mode of marketing real estate. There's no better evidence that we can sell and market homes than by actually selling and marketing homes. And so the more we can leverage a listing or even something recently sold, the more people see us in the action of marketing. And so sharing a digital flyer with their client, there's a very free and easy way to do that. I like to use a tool called Canva, canva.com.
I'm going to type that into the chat right now.
And so you can see it's very easy to create a flyer. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is, this is an actual flyer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create a design. So to create a design, you just click on the plus sign. I'm going to move really fast here, Gary, because I don't want to. I know
there's that real estate flyer template.
There's a real estate flyer template, and you can see there's actually a whole bunch of different templates within the real estate flyer template style. I think the one that I chose was, where was it? There's a bunch of them in here. There's always new ones in here too, which is pretty cool. So you can come through here, scroll. Let's see, where is the one that I used? Well, I'm just going to have to go with a different one because I can't find the one that I had before. So I'm just going to drop this on there, and we're going to change this. We're going to change this to, we're going to change that to Craft Partners Real Estate. I could drop a picture of the home. In fact, what I'm going to do is just come in here, and we'll just drop this in here. Boom. And then I could put the details of the home and the website link on where they can see it. In fact, if I go back to the other listing, one of the ones that I had on here from before, a really cool feature within this digital flyer is, I'll show you, the ability to hyperlink a link. So this link in here, because it's a digital flyer, when they click on it, it'll take them to the web page that has more information about this particular listing, which is actually this page right here.
And by the way, if you're thinking, yeah, but I also want to print flyers and have them at the home.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, and like they make it super easy to be able to create a digital flyer.
Yep.
Number 8 is to create a property landing page on your website.
Breaking that down, this is a web page that has all of the information about your listing.
Yeah. This is going to be the hub. We're going to talk soon about different campaign types to use when you're marketing your listing. Your property landing page is the hub of all your communications. We create one on our website for every single one of our listings that we're going to have. And yes, this exists on our website, and it's got, you can see from this one, it's got pictures of the property. It's got a video. We have a narrative there. We've got links to other listings. We've got our agent working on it. Here's another example. We've got pictures. We've got information about it. We've got a video. So you can see a property landing page is just that. It has information about that particular property. And it is so important to have, because as we look at the other things that we're going to do, having this page out here as the hub of all the communications, it's your traffic catcher. It's your traffic catcher. Because what happens is people visit this page, and if you have the appropriate call to actions, this is how they become leads. Because if you look at, for example, here, if they've got a question about this property, where is it? They can request more details, and then when they fill out this form, they become an opportunity for us.
Yep.
Okay, moving along. I've got so many more to do. Let's talk about optimizing your landing page, because if you create a property landing page, you got to make sure, or you don't have to make sure, I just highly recommend that you optimize it for search engine optimization.
Okay, so quick question here, because when you say optimize, I think of search engine optimization and the difficulty of actually doing that, but it's not that difficult.
No, if you know what the things to do, and I'm going to show you what to do here just in a second, but here's the thing. You just want to make it easier for Google to find it.
Got
right?
it.
You're trying to increase the odds. And it's very hard to rank for certain terms, but you can, and it's possible for you to rank for the actual address. So I'm going to show you what to do here. One of the things that I'm going to do when I create a property landing page is in the page title. I have the complete address in the page title. In the file name, right? So the file name and the URL, it's going to have the page name. In the H1 heading tag, which is the first big heading for that page, again, it's going to have the address of the property. In the photos, it's going to contain the address of the property in the names of the photos, right? So what this does is when the Google bots crawl this page, it's going to tell Google very clearly that this is about this page, because not only is it referenced in all of the information about it, the high-level information that's embedded in the photos and the rich media. So we have some high-level content like what the home is worth, or how much.
And by the way, this is why it's so critical that you don't just import your listings from the MLS. You need to be able to control this.
Well, that's the other thing. A lot of people say, why would I add it to my website? It's on my broker's website, or it's on realtor.com, or it's on the MLS website. Well, the problem is it's on their websites, not yours.
Got it.
Right. And so I would if I'm going to create a traffic campaign, I'm going to show you guys how we do that in a minute. But if I'm going to spend $30, $40, $50, $100 bringing website traffic to this page, I want it to be mine and not somebody else's, because I want those opportunities. I don't want to give them away to somebody else, right? So that's why we have a call to action on our landing pages, so that people can ask questions about the property. We're going to put a property tour video in there, and the name of the property tour
has the address.
And guess where it's hosted on? It's hosted on YouTube, right? And so if somebody that searches on YouTube, they will also come across this video there as well. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. And we have that mapped location, i.e. the lifestyle map. And so that's everything about getting that property landing page optimized for search engine optimization. Now, when you get it and optimized for search engine when you optimize or when you get your web page ready for Google, the problem is Google doesn't recognize it as an authority until there's some traffic going to it. People have to visit it. So it's the Google bots will crawl it, but then Google's going to look at the history and say, yeah, but a lot of other people are going to this other page. So we have to produce some initial traffic so that Google will say, oh, this was one of the early authorities on this topic, i.e. this address. Yeah. And so send an email out to your database.
So this does actually multiple things.
This does a lot of work for you.
It gets you traffic. Number two, it builds you up as the credible realtor that you are because people keep seeing you having listings and sending it. And number three, people, they love to see real estate. It might not even be in their town, but they'll click through and, oh, that's a really nice home.
You know, this is a very powerful way. Also, if you are trying to position yourself as in a certain niche, or a certain price point or a certain part of town, it's very effective to continuously communicate with your database. I'm actually on, there's an agent in Beverly Hills and I'm on her mailing list, and like every like 2 times a month I get an email from her and it has all their Beverly Hills listings in there. And guess what?
What do? You click through.
I click through, and you know what? That's the Beverly Hills the luxury expert. When that comes to mind every time I see it, and all she's doing is reinforcing it by sending that occasional email.
It works.
So another thing to get that early traffic, and I rely on this very, very heavily, is to run a coming soon campaign.
Yeah. Now, if you're in an area where you're not allowed to run a coming soon,
just listed campaign, right? So here's what essentially this is the nuts and bolts of this type of campaign is you're going to have that property landing page, okay? And then you're going to use different traffic sources like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Google to be able to get people to visit that page. So here's an example. We have an ad in Facebook, okay, for this listing. And when they click on the ad and when they click on one of the photos of the ad, or if they want to learn more information, it takes them to that page on the website, that property landing page. Okay.
It's another way to get traffic to that website.
And so this one, out of all the things that I do, and I'll be honest with you, I would much rather spend $30, $40, $50 than have to do a lot of work posting all over in like social media.
Of course.
Because it just saves me time, and it gives me stats, very reliable stats that I'm going to show you that we can then provide to our sellers to say, look, 2,000 people saw this ad. Look, 1,000 people saw this. And so it becomes very reliable reporting. I mentioned another version of that if you can't do the just listed, you run if you can't do a coming soon, you can do a just listed.
But even if you can do a coming soon, you also need to do a just listed.
As well as run an open house if you're going to do an open house for it. Here's an example of an open house campaign that we ran not too long ago. And here's, people oftentimes say, well, what good does that do? Well, let me show you. This ad, ad, we spent $45 and 4,075 people saw it.
What does it do? A lot.
Right. And we're talking about this. I forget what the price point in this one was. I think it was around $800,000 or something like that. So that's why this one cost a little bit more. I believe it was $45. Sometimes I'll run if it's one of our investor properties. Usually it only costs me around $30 to get that same type of traffic. But these are very reliable results. Now I'm talking about using the ad platform, not just posting it on Facebook.
So that is a huge differentiator. We are talking about the Facebook ad platform, and we're going to talk more about that. So stay tuned.
Couple of other variations of this. So you can run a hot listing campaign. This is after you do the coming soon and after you do the just listed and after you do the open house. And if it's still on the market, it is now a hot listing. All right. Notice the little fire emojis in that listing.
Which you shared with me that studies have shown that emojis in a Facebook post increase the number of engagement or likes by 57%. And when you first said that, I was like, no, it does. Come on.
I knew this even from doing email marketing. And so it's crazy in email marketing studies, and you see them in our emails that we send out in the subject lines of emails. People, when we use emojis, it's more likely to get open. And they've even done studies on which emojis have the highest open rates on emails.
That's great. Are you learning something here? I learned something.
You want to know? You want to know the one that had the emoji that has the highest open rate? It's the one that had the celebration one. Big, the little, like, it looks like a little,
the horn
with the streamers coming out of it. that has the highest open rate in terms of email marketing. So definitely utilize emojis in all of your marketing. It's not just for Instagram, right? It's for Facebook, it's for emails. Heck, you can put it, because here's the thing, it communicates emotion that gets lost in the words that we write. So when you couple emojis, which are going to get better open rates and better engagement, plus those professional copywriting techniques that we talked about, you're now starting to get a full picture on, gosh, if I'm doing that, I can really, really provide a good service for my sellers. Start making better quality promises, right? But we're not done. My goodness, we got still, I think we're only about halfway through. We're running out of time, Gary. So another thing you do, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, is, go ahead and post on your Facebook business page.
Do not post this on your personal profile. No. I want to warn you, you must do it on a business page, and then you share it to your personal profile.
And then you can post on a Facebook group of local agents. I have an example here of Gary recently posted one of the properties. This is actually an investment property. This is a funny one. This is an $850,000 investment property that he posted on here. So, you know, you'll have to search groups in your area. What do you recommend for that?
Well, so, I mean, there are a lot of real estate private groups on Facebook. So you just need to search it or call other agents and say, hey, which ones are the best ones in our town?
In Austin, what are they?
So Austin Real Estate Alliance, there's a Austin luxury Facebook group. I think it's Austin Luxury Homes or something like that. But you can search for them and find the ones that have the greatest number of people engaging in that area.
Gotcha. The 17th point on our list is to post on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if a lot of times people don't even know that this is a thing. So you can go to Facebook and you can go to Facebook. And you'll see on the left-hand side, there's this thing called Marketplace.
Yes.
So you can click on Marketplace. And you're going to see there's all kinds of stuff for sale in the Marketplace. What you want to do is you come down to housing, okay? And people say, well, isn't there just like bad stuff in there? Well, let me go ahead, because we're going to look in the Austin area. Let me put a bottom starting price point of 500. You can see there's lots of real
$1 million homes.
There's $1 million. There's a million, 11. That got to be wrong.
I think that's an error.
There's a lot of homes that are on here, and guess what? You don't have to pay to post here. You're just posting. You're sharing the information here, so you can sell something. So that's another place for you to
expose the listing.
Expose the listing is to post on the Facebook Marketplace. Don't forget about Craigslist.
So now, don't naysay this. Believe it or not, Craigslist is a huge opportunity.
It's one of the
traffic.
top. I mean, if it's one, it's still, I think, in the top three or four of websites that has the most housing traffic.
Yeah.
Usually what people make a couple of mistakes on here is they fail to take that listing or the traffic from Facebook over to their own website. And so just a quick tip on this one is the very first thing below the photos that you share on there should be a link to a property landing page where people can see more photos of that property. Okay, so make sure that you're putting a compelling reason and promise for people to copy and paste that link and put it into a browser to go learn more about it. I'm going to go rapid fire through these next 3 ones. This is hilarious
because Alicia said, I haven't heard you mention Pinterest.
Okay, so
well, here you go.
Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. I'm not going to spend too much time in going into the details of these 3 things. Just know that you should do that, because I want to talk a little bit more time about posting video on YouTube. YouTube, get this. YouTube is my current favorite place to market anything. But here's why YouTube is so important. 1 billion hours a day.
1 billion hours a day of YouTube is being viewed.
Let me put that into context.
Okay.
There is more video watched on a daily basis than Netflix and Facebook combined. In fact, there's the equivalent of 40 Super Bowls happening on YouTube every single day. That's how many freaking people are watching YouTube every single day. So I would definitely encourage you. I mean, here's a YouTube video that one of our clients put together. This is Ted Williams up in Portland. And you can see sharing this information on YouTube, 1,751 views.
That's incredible.
It's just such a powerful way to be able to market a listing. Here's point number 23, which is to run ads on Google, right? So we can...
Now, before you say, whoa, Google, this has become much easier to do.
You know, there was a time... And unfortunately, people oftentimes will do this incorrectly because Google, if you don't do it right, you waste a lot of money. And that kills me, because I know a lot of people try it or they dabble in it and they don't know they don't have the right skill yet, and they make an assessment on its performance based on that having the appropriate skill.
Yeah.
But running an ad like this, let me show you, running an ad like this, I'm not trying to find all people who are marketing for all homes for sale. I'm looking for people who, in a very narrow subset of all the Google search traffic, who would be interested in viewing this listing. So you can see.
Which, by the way, you've done a coaching session for our coaching club.
I have done a lot of training on this. But what this does is it ensures that your listing is going to get viewed online when people are searching on Google. It's a nice little hack. A lot of times people say, well, how do I get my listing on Google? I can't get the search engines to rank it for whatever reason. You know what? Spend $30 and run an ad.
Well,
right?
that is one of the things, is it's difficult to compete with these huge search engine portals and these huge brokerages, because when you syndicate your listing,
it goes everywhere, and they have a lot of traffic, so it's hard to compete.
Yeah.
My favorite current place to run ads is actually on YouTube.
And so somebody just said, yeah, but Lindsay said, will it be hard to get a YouTube following starting brand new, though? Well, everybody starts brand new.
Everybody starts brand new, but YouTube is currently the cheapest place to get a viewer. On average, it's like between 1 and 2 cents per 30-second video view. You only pay when somebody watches 30 seconds of the video.
So it's super
very affordable.
I
mean, we not only market listings on video or run YouTube ads for our listings. We also do them for our expert videos, where we do interviews and we answer questions for our clients. So YouTube ads is a really big one. Let me just show you. So this specific campaign right here that we ran on YouTube, or that one of our clients ran, he shared with me the reports. He spent $30 to get 1,703 people to watch 30 seconds of this 2-minute video.
Yeah.
All right, very impressive. And the viewership rate, the view rate of 63, that means of the 1,700 people, they watched more than half. The average was to watch more than half of a 3-minute video.
Incredible.
Right? I mean, talk about effectiveness in being able to market and promote that listing.
I'm going to reiterate, everything that we're talking about, you need to learn how to do so you can communicate this during your listing appointment.
Right.
And we're going to talk about that.
And some of you might have a marketing assistant that can do this for you, but you'll want to know what to tell them what to do. Don't just say, go on Facebook and share this on Facebook. You need to say, no, it's important for you to run a Facebook ad. In fact, let me show you the type of Facebook ad that you should run. You already saw a glimpse of this when we were talking about the Just Listed campaign, where we're running a very specific Facebook ad that's going to the property landing page for that listing. In this actual ad, in this campaign, again, we spent $40, 2,547 people reached. So again, we're using the advertising platform to be able to make sure we're getting the images and the videos in front of the right person at that right time. How do we make sure that we're getting it in front of the right person? Well, here's what you're going to do, is you're going to utilize Facebook advertising's audience feature. Right? So you go into Ads Manager, you can see that there's this audience feature there. And what you can do is create what we call a lookalike audience. So the way I've done this is, I want more, and you guys probably want more clients like the ones that are in your database or the ones that you have. So they have this cool feature called lookalike audiences, where Facebook will go out and they will find people like the people who match the people in your database. So I upload Gary's database, right? I tell it to do a 1% match. And then what Facebook's going to do is it's going to go out to all of Facebook and it's going to find a whole bunch of people. In this case, this audience size was 2 million people, a whole bunch of people that are like the people already in our database.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And so I did want to say, Lindsay just did her first Facebook ad today. Congratulations. I know a lot of people are here. They're saying this whole Facebook ad campaign is complicated. How do I do this?
You know what? Later on today, I'm just going to let you know, later on, I'm going to share with you how you can access our Facebook marketing for real estate. We don't have time to talk about it right now, but later on, I'm going to talk about how you can access our online self-paced skills and tools program for marketing on Facebook. And we'll talk about that more, but we're
also going to talk about how you get it without paying $600 for it.
So another thing we want to do is make sure we're running mobile ad placements. The great thing about Facebook is it's just a check, right? We just want to make sure that we're checking that the ad is going to show up in mobile placements. But mobile placement is very important. In fact, 56.5% of Facebook users only log in from a mobile device. So if you're putting it on the internet and it's not really taking into account the mobile experience, you're failing.
You know, the only time I log on to Facebook on my laptop,
what's that?
Is to run ads or to look at our ad placement.
63% of website visitors are done via mobile device. So we can't ignore the necessity to make sure our ads, everything that we're doing, is taking that mobile experience into account. Number 27 is separate from running Facebook ads, which is running Instagram ads.
But well, now you say separate. It's not terribly separate, but why is Instagram so critical?
58. That's the number. Write that down. 58. 58%, I should say. 58 times more. I'm saying 58%. It's 58 times. Instagram has 58 times more engagement per follower than Facebook.
Now, and the reason it's important to know this statistic is during your listing appointment, as you're communicating with the seller of what you're going to do in this 33-point market plan, is to educate them as to why you're doing it. And when you share this statistic with them, all of a sudden, you're this expert to them, and they're like, whoa, I'm really going to pay attention.
Now, here's the thing with Instagram ads. If you're using Facebook ads, which I suggest that you do, it's just a checkbox to put it in Instagram.
Right.
You don't have to worry about running it in separate places or doing anything. When you create the ad, if you do the Just Listed campaign, or if you're going to do the hot listing campaign and you're going to run that through Facebook, or you're going to do an open house campaign and you're running it through Facebook, is that it's just a checkbox to say, put this guy in Instagram in addition to Facebook. So that's why I like it, because I get to run ads on Instagram without any extra work.
Okay, somebody just asked, now the ability to advertise to people who are likely to move has gone away.
Right, and that's why I showed you that lookalike audience feature. That's what I'm currently doing. In fact, the steps that I'm now doing is I have a copy of Gary's database. You can actually upload your database, from your CRM or from Excel or whatever. Upload your database. All you need is email addresses, phone numbers, and then Facebook will go out and create a new marketing list. And then you can use that custom audience to create a lookalike audience, which expands that list to all of the folks. And then what I do when I create the ad, I just narrow it down geographically by age, okay? And then I've been testing using some of the popular home search sites as an additional interest. So those are the way to get around the whole likely to move feature not being there. And I've seen better performance. I mean, it was like we were forced to do it this way, but I've seen better performance now that I made those changes. And it makes sense to be able to market to more people, like the people who we already know us, right?
Yeah.
Let me quickly go through the final points, because it's very important that we cover the property marketing plan and how we utilize that for winning listings. But 28 is obvious, listed in the MLS. 29, your MLS probably has a website where it's going to get distributed. You could use tools like Realtor.com or other home search sites. Put a sign in the yard, because that's still important, right?
Absolutely. The basics are still the basics.
And then when you run that open house, make sure you utilize open house signage that has your brand on it, not just some rando open house sign.
Rando.
So when you're using some of these 33 marketing points to market a listing, and I'm not going to assume that you're going to do them all. Maybe you're going to do a dozen of them, whatever, right? But you can still use this marketing know-how to impress sellers. Remember, we were talking about making better quality promises.
Yes, because that number one thing that they want from you is to help them market their home to potential buyers. So this is where everything is coming full circle for you, where we're bringing it back to, okay, now we're back at the listing appointment. How do we educate them on everything that we're going to do?
Here's the thing. You're not going to win listings unless you give your client what they want. If you don't know what they want, or you're not willing to give them what they want, you don't earn that opportunity. And that's not listings. That's all business, all products, all services. It comes down to giving your clients what they want, right? So the way which we communicate that is through our property marketing plan.
Yes.
It's about a 10-page document, and it's a slightly different narrative than the 33-point checklist. The 33-point checklist that I gave you was kind of an easy way to digest everything that's in here. This is more of a narrative written out week by week by week, so that seller can bust this open and say, oh, this is everything that you're going to do. Now, here's the thing. Gary, when do you give this to the seller?
I send this to the seller as soon as my initial phone consultation is complete. I give it to them before I show up at my listing appointment. So this is what we call phase 0 of our listing appointment. So phase 0 is the initial phone consultation. I ask tons of questions, and as soon as that's over, I send them this 8-week marketing plan to educate them on everything that I'm going to do to market their home to potential buyers. Then, when I show up at the listing appointment, we review it together to make sure that they don't have any questions. But here's the huge differentiator, Chris. Number one is, what is the number one reason why I'm going to get hired over somebody else?
Well, it's important that they're going to see that you are different from everybody else.
But what's that one word? Trust.
Trust.
Trust. They need to trust me more than they trust anybody else. And by educating them of what I'm going to do, it builds trust. And I'm building trust before I even show up for the listing appointment, which helps me differentiate myself from everybody else who's going in buying for that same
What
business.
about the naysayers who say, you're going to give that to them before you show up? And what if they take that marketing plan and give it to another agent?
That's fine.
You don't care about that?
No, but does that ever happen? No, it doesn't happen, because here's what happens. They review this before anybody else shows up. Other agents show up, and in the back of their mind, they're like, well, this agent is not doing what Gary says he's going to do. I can't wait to talk to Gary.
You guys want a little prospecting technique? Take your property marketing plan, email it out to your database and say, hey guys, I just updated my property marketing plan, which is the exclusive and unique property marketing plan that I use to sell real estate to get the kind of results that I do. If you know of somebody who's thinking of moving and has a home to sell, please share this with them and let them know that I can be of service, right?
Absolutely.
So what does that do? It gives anyone in your database that's thinking of moving like, oh, dang, look at this. I need to contact Gary.
Yes.
Or they know somebody's moving, like, you need to check out Gary. Look, check out his property marketing plan. This is everything that he does. And so that's just a little prospecting tip for you. We'll cover more during the Q&A. Some of the folks are probably, wondering, gosh, here's what I would ask you guys. What are you doing to market listings right now, right? What are you doing to market listings? Because if you're just doing the put it in the MLS, put a sign in the yard, pray that it sells. You can just do some of these things and start beating out what the average or what the norm is.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. You don't have to do all 33, but what we recommend is that you document everything in an 8-week marketing plan. Now, what we can tell you is that if you want our 8-week marketing plan, it's a template that you can just customize. We're going to show you how to get that in a second without spending $600 to do that.
Yes. In fact, if you want the templates from today's presentation that we shared with you, as well as some of the training, what you can do is you can join our club. You can start to list like a boss. When you join our club, you'll get the 8-week marketing plan for only $67 today, which is a lot less than $597. But you might be asking yourself, what is the club? The club is going to give you access to our training library with literally hundreds of topics and solutions. In fact, our training library includes training on how to run a just listed campaign on ads with Google, or how to create and promote your YouTube channel, right? So all of these things that we just mentioned within our training library, there's, like I said, hundreds of topics. That's included when you join our club. In addition to a training library, you get access to our real estate, to our digital marketing campaign every single month to ramp up your stream of leads. So every single month when you join our club, you're going to get a new campaign that you're going to use to prospect. It has prospecting letters, emails, social media posts, templates, and even referral tools. Let me show you an example of a recent month that we put together for our clients. They got a blog post, they got a PDF report, which serves as a newsletter. All of it is around this theme of Home Buyer's Guide to Getting Mortgage Ready. Now, like I said, every month the theme changes to appeal to either home buyers, home sellers, or home owners. There's a prospecting email to be able to send out. There's Facebook posts, all centered around the same theme, Instagram posts, Pinterest posts, even, heck, a phone script. And what this marketing campaign allows you to do is to implement what we call omnipresent marketing, which is the essence of being able to be all places at all times to people within your sphere of influence, within your database. And that's how you get that repeat and, most importantly, referral business. But there's even more. So when you join the club, you're going to get a marketing website. Every month we post a blog post for you. It includes landing pages.
And say that again. They get a website.
They get a marketing website with landing pages, lead generation, and heck, we even post a blog post for you every single month. In fact, one of the sites that I pulled up here is Gary's marketing website. So you can see all you have to do is put your name, put your photo. It looks really good.
We automatically upload these blog articles for you every single month, so you don't have to do it.
No, it always looks great. You can put listings up there and even create additional landing pages. So when you join the club, that's also included. You also get access to Gary, myself, and our entire team on live training sessions where we do group coaching on very specific real estate, tech, sales, and marketing questions. We always get great reports back from our clients who join the club. Here's one from Will saying, great session. Can't thank you enough. Our business has already more than doubled since joining the Paperless Agent. The club is a membership, but you can easily cancel online, hassle-free, no questions asked. There's no contract or commitment. Now, when you sign up for the club today, I am going to throw in our Facebook Marketing for Real Estate, a $597 program, so that you will be able to have everything and know everything that you need to use the Facebook advertising platform. There's Facebook advertising templates and checklists. We talk and show you how to do just listed campaigns, open house campaigns, lead generation ads, branding ads, repeat and referral campaigns. It is all self-paced online, right? So it's just an online course for you to be able to work through at your own leisure. But Facebook works. It still works to produce tremendous results. In addition to being able to market on Facebook, this is going to show you how to market on Instagram as well. Now, I have an extra special bonus gift when they join the club today,
yes,
Gary.
I love this. This is our 30-day action plan summary. This comes from our Agent Sales Acceleration Program. This is a 30-day action plan that you can start right now, like today. And you just follow it every single day for 30 days. And what's going to happen is your business is going to shift.
Oh, well, you do this consistently and repeat this process over time, and that is ultimately the key to getting more business. Now, I wanted to share a story from one of our clients, Teresa. Teresa said, I wanted to say a huge thank you to the Paperless Agent team. Thank you, Gary and Jordan and Chris and the whole team behind the scenes. We actually tripled our income in 2017.
Tripled.
They sold over $9 million, all because they followed the Paperless Agent plan. They said they started doing open houses again and followed the sales action plan to reignite their client contacts. They'd been with another office for 13 years, never had that level of marketing material. And so thank you, Teresa, for sharing that with us.
Can you imagine going from 3 million to 9 million in 1 year? That's incredible.
That's a tremendous shift. Yeah. So go ahead, join the club. Just click on that sunset orange button. The offer, the blue. Sorry.
So by the way, I just posted this over in the chat section. There is a blue button. It says join club now. We've had tons of people saying, I'm in. How do I sign up? That's how you do it. Go click on that blue button and you'll start sign up. Now,
I was going to say, here's the thing. We're going to do some Q&A. We'll run out. We'll keep going until we run out of questions. But here's what I want to share with you guys. These bonus gifts, you're going to want to get these bonus gifts when you join the club now. You're going to get instant access to these things. You'll get an email with all the information. But sign up now, because the day gets away from you and you won't get that sales action plan, which is worth the investment.
Yeah. And by the way, it is only $67 a month, and you can cancel at any time. Super easy. So here's what you need to do. Go click on that link, and it's going to take you to a page to help you join our club. Do it right now. And here's what's going to happen as soon as you join the club. You're going to receive several emails from us. Number one, it'll be a receipt. You want to have that receipt because this is tax deductible at the end of the year. So you get to write this off as a business expense. In addition to that, you're going to receive an email with login information that will take you directly into your personal portal at the coaching program. And you're going to be able to get all of these resources. In fact, Chris, you want to show them what that looks like?
Yeah, sure. I'll pull it up real quick.
And so you're going to get that email. Now, here's the thing. It may end up in your spam folder. So if you don't see it in your inbox right away, go to your spam folder. And if it's not there and you're using Gmail, sometimes Gmail likes to put this in your promotions tab. So go to your promotions. By the way, if all else fails and you can't log in, no worries. Our team is here to help. You can email us at any time at support@thepaperlessagent.com.
And so when they log in, you'll have access to all the courses. You'll have access to the marketing suite and your marketing website and the monthly campaigns. This coaching club is where the training library is. And so you'll have access to all of these things in addition to the bonus gifts when you sign up.
Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying the click is not working. So we're fixing that for you. I think so many people are clicking on it.
Okay. You know, Gary, one of the things that I wanted to hit on was when we first asked everybody at the very beginning of the presentation, what is it that you would like to take away from today's session? And one of the things that came up was, well, how do I actually get the listing appointments? How do I get the listing leads, right? How do I get people to work with? And
oh, hold on real quick, Chris. I do want to address, I just heard from Kyle, who is one of our team members. He's our marketing director here. The link does work. It's just, I think there are so many people clicking on it at the same time that it just takes a little bit of time to load because it's being hit by so many people. So just click on the link. It'll take a couple of seconds and load. I checked.
All right, so very good. Gary, I wanted to hit on this this question of how do I get the listing opportunities in the first place? And I think for a lot of our viewers here, they're like, okay, I got it. I'm going to do this 33-point marketing checklist to market the listing, and I got it. I'm going to have this property marketing plan that I can use now to persuade somebody that I'm the right choice for them to work with. But how do I get the listing opportunities to begin with? Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. So Gary and I have a little confession to make.
Uh-oh, confession time.
Yeah. So, Gary and I, we have a real estate business here in Austin, and we're like you guys. We get busy. I'm going to share with you the number one source of business, the number one place for how we get business is to implement a monthly marketing campaign like the one that we provide everybody with, right? So we know that if we stay in touch with our clients every single month, that these opportunities, it almost, to me, it seems like magic. Gary says that's just the way sales works, Chris. But anyway, so you send this information out, you follow up, you connect with people, you use this information as a context for a conversation, and then you have those conversations. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. Like you guys, Gary and I get busy, and so we went a few months without communicating to our database. It might have been longer than a few months, but it was a period of time where there was a gap in our communication.
Well, we got busy.
We got busy, right?
I mean, we're just like you. We fail sometimes. We mess up, but what happened?
So here's the thing. So we're like, we need to start drumming up some real estate business, right? What should we do? Well, let's start sending our stuff out to our clients. So we had a little gap in communication. So we realized we couldn't just send out the normal campaign. So what we did is we authored a little email that said, hey, I'm sorry, we haven't been in touch, but I'm recommitting myself. And by the way, here's a link to some useful information that you might find valuable. We got, in a period of 2 weeks after sending that email, how many opportunities? 3, but what was the commission dollar?
3 opportunities that presented $87,000 in commissions.
Yes.
$87,000 from one email.
Yeah. Here's the thing. That normally does not happen. I'm not saying that usually should
what is that
happen.
Term? These results are not.
Here's the thing. We were doing it just to jumpstart the database because we knew that through consistency of sending that information out and following up, that would work. But it just so happened that, just re-engaging during that point in time brought those opportunities forth. So I'm going to tell you the number one thing that you can do is send out that monthly marketing campaign to implement this concept of omnipresent marketing.
Yes. And
what that means is your client, or somebody who knows you, they don't even have to be a client. It could just be somebody in your sphere of influence. They know you. When they will at some point in time have a conversation with somebody that they know who's thinking of moving. They'll say, hey, I'm thinking of moving. And they're going to say, oh, that's awesome. Now, if we haven't been staying in touch and implementing omnipresent marketing, unfortunately, even though we have a personal relationship with them or they worked with us in the past, we don't enter in their consciousness.
No. And the realtor who does is the person who is staying in touch the most.
Right. And so by implementing omnipresent marketing, being on Facebook, sending out a newsletter, making phone calls, sending messenger, being on Instagram, marketing listings, what happens is when you implement this monthly marketing campaign is that you're omnipresent. You're always there. And so that first thing that'll happen is that you'll pop into their head. Now, if you've done a great service, like give them tools of referral, like sent them a property marketing plan, for example, from time to time, saying, hey, I just updated my property marketing plan. Please share this with your friends who are thinking of moving. Now you just gave them a tool to refer you with. So not only are you top of mind, you're giving them tools to refer you with. And that's how you get those opportunities. That's exactly, and it's through the follow-up. It's just through the follow-up that happens. For those of you who might be newer, I know a lot of times we have newer agents.
I don't know if you're reading the comments.
I'm not.
I was actually just about to ask this. Brian, hey, Brian. Brian says, does this stuff work for someone who is just in their second year?
Here's the thing. For a lot of newer folks, what I'm telling you, like this concept of omnipresent marketing or sending out this information and following up with your sphere of influence is going to seem like magic. Because to me, and I'm more of a marketing guy. I'm not really a sales guy. Gary, he's an expert at sales. And so to me, it's always fascinating how we can do this information. And then through Gary's follow-up, the opportunities, just to me, it's like magic. It's like, how'd that happen? It's like, he'll say, Gary, Chris, this is how we sell real estate.
This isn't magic. This is just
this is what we do. And it seems like it's always amazing to me. So I can see how if you're new, because to me, it still seems like magic. If it's new, trust us when we say that when you implement these types of systems and you do the appropriate follow-up, like what we're sharing with you today, that is what produces the opportunities. Now, it's so important for you to be prepared for the opportunity. Do not start the process without having a little bit of insight into and a little bit of value in what you're going to have. Gary, you have an initial consultation process that you use to ask questions and build trust. You send them the property marketing plan. You go on the listing appointment. So these are all the steps that are going to happen after the fact. Just make sure you have those steps lined up. In fact, when you join our club and you go into the topic library, so if you go join the club, you click on Coaching Club and you'll have access to our training library. Just go into resource library and you can view all of the coaching sessions. These are all of the topics that we've covered, and you can go in here and say, you know what, I want to learn about Facebook, and there's Facebook stuff there. I want to learn about YouTube, or creating, getting my website found on Google, or how to recharge my online reputation. But maybe very specifically, you want to know, you know what, I need some
new agent tips right there.
Where is that? New agent tips. So we've got tips for new agents, prospecting a digital agent. The one I wanted to show them was,
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's hundreds of topics in here, so like it could take, but there's one here on working with, where is it? I gotta zoom out. Where is the sellers one? There's one in here on working with sellers. There it is. So, how this is all for just working with sellers, and I gotta blow that back out.
Yeah. So basically, the point is absolutely everything that Chris is doing with marketing, lead generation, lead conversion, advertising, etc., in the marketing side, and everything that I'm doing on the sales side, absolutely everything that we're doing is in here.
So I wanted to show them there's training on the 5-phase listing appointment, right? So pretty much if there's something that you got to do in real estate, there's going to be resources, there's going to be training so that you can implement the same processes and tactics that we use in our own real estate business that work. We'll try not to share the things that don't work unless there's an important learning lesson there.
Okay, Celia says, does it take a while to have access? I'm not able to access the materials. No, Celia, it will be instant. And so I'm going to ask our support team who is on this webinar right now, please reach out to Celia. We'll make sure that we get you taken care of. Question, oh, by the way, if you are a current Coaching Club member and you're here on this this live broadcast with us, would you do us a favor and share with everybody and share with us, really, what is the number one thing that you love most about our club?
Yeah, what's your favorite feature? What's the favorite thing? I'm always curious to hear, because it's good feedback for us on where to spend more time improving the tools and resources and information that we make available to everybody. Because we got a whole team here, and they play different roles, whether it's improving the websites, whether it's improving the email marketing suite, which you all have access to, whether it's improving the monthly campaigns that we provide you with, or improving the training topics that we give. So let us know what some of the favorite features are, so that one, everyone else who's on the fence, they can see, oh, that's what you like about it. And two, tell me where to spend a little bit more time. So.
Yep. Okay. Next question. Aaron says, is the next billing on the 1st of September, or will it bill again on the mid-16th? So the billing will happen on the same day every month. So it's like 30 or 31 days later, 30 or 31 days later. So you will be all set there. Okay. We've got a lot of questions. So by the way, as you go sign up, let us know in the chat section that you signed up as well, because what this does is it introduces you to all the other members in the coaching program. Next question. Katie says, where is that? What percentage of income do you recommend using for Facebook ads? It's actually not a percentage.
No, actually, let me give you it's not like a percentage. So let me share with you the process. So all online advertising, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Google, Instagram, YouTube, anything where where you're paying for advertising, has this law of diminishing return. Okay. And so, when you're spending ads, when you're spending money on these tools, all of them, by the way, there's a point at which you're just spending money and not getting additional results. All right. So the only way to understand that is to gradually ramp that up. It's going to be different for different markets, but let me share with you where I started with Facebook advertising. My initial budget for advertising on Facebook was about $300 a month. The reason it was $300 a month was because that's what I could convince Gary to spend on Facebook. This was back in like 2013 or so. So that's what I could convince him to spend on Facebook. And he was like, all right, we're going to spend $300 a month on this. I'll share with you now that our Facebook budget's pretty extensive, but it started with saying, we've got $300 a month. What are we going to do with it? Well, the first thing that I knew I was going to do with it was I wanted to market listings. So I actually had, from that $300, I had to take out money for marketing listings. And the average listing at that time, I was spending between $20 and $30. I'm spending a lot more. You saw in the examples, it was $40 and $50, and I'll repeat that. But just getting started, it doesn't cost a lot of money to market to your database on Facebook. It doesn't cost a lot of money to market your listings on Facebook. So you can start small. And then here's what you're going to do is, as you have more listings, of course, that's going to push your budget up. And then as you discover the types of campaigns that work, and I would suggest that you copy a lot of the ones that we do that you'll learn about when you join our club. But I would suggest that you run the ones that we do, and then start at a couple $100 and then gradually ramp it up. I mean, it's amazing that you could do a very simple campaign every single week and maybe spend $100 a month. Spending $20 a week, 4 weeks out of the month. That's minus the listings, right? So now I will share with you, my goal is to maintain about a $2,000 for our real estate business, is to maintain about a $2,000 a month PPC spend, meaning Google, Facebook, YouTube, right? So my goal is to maintain a $2,000 a month spend. It's hard for me to maintain it because, like, I don't know, sometimes it's easy to go over, sometimes it's easy to go under. Yeah. But it's really just a matter of, I know I have to spend that much for us to be able to get the types of opportunities that we want to be able to see. And that's really comes, and my general rule of thumb is, like, I try to achieve 10% of revenue. But I wouldn't start there. I never started at trying to shoot for 10% of revenue. I said, how do I spend this $300 wisely? Did that answer the question?
That did. Jane says, everything is done for you. Oh, this is her. So Jane is a coaching client. Jane.
Jane.
Hey, Jane. How are you? She says, everything is done for you for $67 a month. You don't have to spend time writing an article, figuring out which article to write every month. Everything is done for you. All it takes is a few minutes per week to send out those campaigns. She nailed it. It's just like, bam. Let's see.
Thanks, Jane.
Yes, absolutely. Next, Vicky says, I'm excited to see how this plays out. Want to see how this plays out with these cut rate brokers. Just signed up. Welcome. Congratulations. By the way,
I think that's one of the issues that we face is, remember we were telling you the story of how we had like that gap in communication. For a lot of you guys, I'm going to assume, unless you're new, right? But for those of you who are seasoned, like we are in this industry, is that we actually know what to do. We just don't have time to do what we know we need to do.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, like, it's like, okay, I know I'm supposed to do this, but the reason we don't do it is we get busy doing other stuff. So we know that, particularly with the marketing campaign that we provide everybody with and automatically posting that stuff to the website, is that's a huge time saver. And I know, because I know how much it costs to have that stuff done for you. You're talking, if you weren't working with us to do it, it's a few $100s a month to have all of those things done. So save yourself some time, save yourself some money. But when you do those things that you know you should do, good things happen, right? Yeah. It's just a matter of making it easy enough for us to be able to do them. A few minutes a week, that's worth having consistent business.
So this is interesting because you and I were actually talking to a coaching member, and he said, I'm so glad that I found you guys, because I was days away from hiring a marketing assistant for $50,000 a year to do what you guys are doing for me. And so it's like, you want to talk about the power behind the coaching club is, for him, it saved him 50 grand.
Well, we know, for a lot of us, we know what to do. And for those of you who are new, let me tell you, just follow their lead, right? These are the types of activities, sending out, doing that omnipresent marketing, implementing these monthly campaigns, staying in touch, utilizing tools like Facebook and a marketing plan. These are the types of things that get results in our business. So it's just a matter of carving out the time. Now, if you're a new agent, you got more time than probably some of the rest of us, right?
Well, which is really awesome because you can really launch yourself into promoting and marketing yourself to other people.
Well, and you can spend some time acquiring the necessary skill to do these things really well.
Right. Carol says, I'm not a tech person. How difficult is this to do it yourself? Oh,
the first thing I would reframe is do not say I'm not a tech person. Are you using one of these, Carol? Are you using this? Because 10 years ago, people would have looked at this and said, what is this thing?
Yeah.
It's a computer in a phone. That's amazing, right? These days, don't say you're not a tech person. Reframe that and say, you know what? I have a new skill that I need to acquire. Today, that skill might be Facebook. Tomorrow, that skill might be, how to do a listing appointment for those of you who are new. A different skill might be, how do I post on social media? Another skill might be, how do I shoot a video for putting it onto YouTube? Another skill might be, how do I do public speaking so that I can speak on a video, right? All of these things are different skills. And so instead of saying, I can't do the tech part of it, because the tech is getting easier and easier every day, just like it is on this phone, by the way. Every day, this gets a little bit easier so that all of a sudden the technology starts to become invisible. And that's what the goal behind Facebook and all the other platforms is. They want it to be easy for us small business people, right? You're in business for yourself, whether you see it or not. Well, for us small business people to be able to use their tools so that we can have greater effectiveness with them. So first, you are a tech person. You might not be a tech person. You're just one skill away from being a tech person. And where you start is where we always start, at the beginning. So pick the thing that seems most interesting to you.
Yeah.
Start there, because the thing that's most interesting to you will be more fun to you. So start there, and then the thing is, we're never done learning skills.
Well, so Deborah said, okay, I signed up. I'm new. There's so much to do in your resources. What is the first thing I should do? So here's the thing. We have a resource in the resource library, and it talks about how to get started.
You know what? One of the easiest things that you can do, Deborah, here's what I suggest.
Okay.
First things first, download this month's campaign. So go to, for those of you who are new, right? I'm sorry for those of you who haven't signed up and you're hanging out waiting to get your question answered, but I'll get there. I just wanted to show the folks who are brand new what to do. Go to your monthly digital marketing campaign, download the most recent one, download the one for August, download it. There's an instruction file in there, read it. And that's all you do today, okay? Download it.
That's easy.
And read this. There's a thing called support
file.
How
long will that take?
It'll take them 20 minutes.
There you go.
To read that support file. It'll give you a complete understanding on what you need to do for this month's campaign. You'll probably, after spending 20 minutes reading it, you're going to spend a little bit more time doing it. So, but first things first.
I would bet they're going to get excited.
And you're going to start doing it. You're going to start doing it. So,
and by the way, we have a private Facebook group for coaching club members only. And there's so much information being shared in there. There are referrals being sent back and forth. And then what I would love for you to do is, after you sign up and after you join our private Facebook group, share with us the results from your first email campaign that you send out. I want to know from you, what are your results? Because I think what's going to happen, I know that you're going to get business. People are going to reach back out and they're going to communicate with you, and that is critical. So right now, what you need to do is head on over, because we're going through Q&A right now, head on over to the chat section, click on that blue button that says Join Club Now. I'm also going to post this link in the chat section yourself, or for you, but go sign up right now and join this amazing community.
Yeah, actually, I was just in here and I saw that Ryan was asking about that likely to move feature in Facebook going away. So I was going to just tell Ryan to.
Okay, you
Ryan,
answer that question.
Check out the check. I should probably stop doing that. I always get distracted when I go to the private group because I go answering questions and reading what everyone's saying. But okay, let's keep doing Q&A. We got a whole live audience here.
We do. Kirsten says, you guys are fantastic. So pumped. I so appreciate you for not talking over our heads and keeping it real.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Carla says, I've joined. Where do I get all that good stuff? Go check your email and then go to thepaperlessagent.com/dashboard. And that is where you log in. By the way, I'm going to type that in the chat section after I ask a question here. Chris, I'm going to have you answer a question when I go.
Find a good one. Find a good one.
There are a lot of good ones. That's the issue here. Okay. There are like 4 or 5 questions here. Luz, Amy, Sandra, several say, where do I do a landing page? Where do you get a landing page for properties? So you want to show them our landing page?
Yeah. Well, I think it's really important to understand that most of us probably don't have our own websites yet. You know, like if I took a poll, I would be, you know, I'd find that the majority of us don't have our own website, is what I'm going to speculate. Would you say that's probably true?
Yes.
We could run a poll, but it's probably not necessary. And if you do have a website, it's probably not that awesome. Now maybe your broker has a website or the firm that you have has a website, but here's the thing when it comes to having a website. They can be a little bit unwieldy. And so what we did is, because so many of our clients didn't have a website, we created that marketing website for you. So when you join the club, one of the features here is this thing called the Agent ID site. It's the marketing website that I was referring to. It takes about 10 minutes to set it up, but then you'll have the same thing that Gary has that I used as an example. So when you click on listings, you can see what that property landing page looks like. Here's the thing. Property landing page provider, I mean, like website providers can be very expensive. Anything from, you know, $70 to $300,000 or $300 a month, $500 a month I've even seen. But when it comes to property landing pages provider, I used to suggest people use tools like, oh, just go set up a WordPress website, or just go set up, you know, a lead pages. And I found that that stuff was too hard to use. I mean, for myself included, I was like, this takes way too long. So I had our team go out and build these these websites, and then add this feature for being able to market listings. And it literally takes, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes to add it. If you have the photos ready to go, you literally just drag and drop the photos. It does all of the other work for you. You just copy and paste the stuff in there, and you'll have a page that you can start using. So my suggestion, because I know that this is just included with the club when you join, that it is like you'll spend more than $67 a month on getting website stuff. I mean, I know that just from having done it myself. Or it's too complicated to use some of the tools that are out there. Or some of them look like they were built in 1982 before Al Gore invented the internet. So it's like, you know, that's why we did what we did. So unfortunately, I don't have another one that I would recommend at this point.
All right. Nicole and Susanna both asked the same questions. Can we connect your landing pages to our existing websites?
Yes, I mean, you can. Here's the thing. We have both. I don't know if you guys probably didn't detect it, but we use this. This is Gary's marketing website, but then we also have our krethrealestate.com website out there, which is here. The difference between these two things is we don't do IDX on the websites that we provide, and we needed a provider that had IDX.
Well, thank you for saying that. That answered another question. Perry said, will the website be our names like Gary's? So actually, Perry, what you're going to do is you're going to go buy your own domain. We recommend GoDaddy. So you're going to go buy your own domain, and then we show you step by step
how to forward that up.
Of how to forward it.
It's and you can always email our team to get help with doing that part of the setup.
That's another thing. By the way, Kathleen says test does not appear questions are posting. Oh yeah, Kathleen, the questions are posting. We're getting them.
There's a lot of them, and we're trying. There's so many of them that we can't answer all of them, so we're trying to group them together and to be able to answer like more than one question at a time. Yeah. So thank you.
And then John said, hey, I signed up. Do you see that I'm a member? So let me actually do this real quick. I'm going to give a quick shout out to some of our newest members. I won't have time to get to all of them. John, Jan, Chasey, Sharon, Bobby, Carolyn, Kristen, Lisa, Kelly, Rena, Krista, Tanya, Dawn, Nicole, Janine, Kaya, Carlos, Bob, Sheila, Deborah, Veronica, Brian, Bradley, Kimberly, Pamela, Wendy, Annika, Antoinette, Barry, Chris, Mark, Cindy, Vicky, Amanda, Velma, Leslie, Pamela, Rose, Yvette, Hamilton, John. Okay.
Okay. We get the picture.
Welcome, everybody. We are so delighted that you are joining us on this incredible adventure together. You're joining a really powerful, loving, caring community here in real estate. And our job, will you give me a hug?
Sorry.
By the way, I did not get a hug for your birthday gift. You're gonna have to give me a hug later. See what happens? Okay.
Gary did get me a really special gift for my birthday. It was like I was at home looking at it. I was like, oh man, look at this. I can't wait for it. All right.
Okay, next. Next. Rail says, do you offer any in-person training in certain locations in different states? So we actually do have relationships with Texas, Florida, and California. And so if you want us to come speak and train in one of those 3 states,
you have to request it. You request it from your state association.
You have to go to your state association. And by the way, if you are currently living in a state that is not Texas, California, or Florida, contact your state association. I would recommend the education director and say, why are we not working with these guys? You know, we want these guys to come to our state and have them call me. Okay, next. John says the 30-day action plan, Facebook marketing 8-week plan. Are these downloadable PDFs or just available through the login only?
So the 8-week marketing plan, when you log in, you'll download it. It's actually part of the digital property marketing plan, I think. All of those, the only thing that's a course is Facebook. The other things you can download and keep and start putting to work right away. But the Facebook marketing for real estate is actually an online course that you work through, because it's got to show you, all right, how do I create a Facebook ad? How do I create an audience of people to market to? For those of you who are, let's say you have a Facebook business page already and you want to just jump in and start creating ads, just skip to modules 4 and 5. Module 4 is about creating the audiences, and then module 5 is the different campaign examples, and so you'll just spend time there. Yeah. The first the first module is about getting your business page set up, and the second one is the first module is about strategies. The second one is on getting your business page set up. Third one is what to post there. But for those of you who already have that going on, jump into 4 or 5 is where all of those great examples are going to be. And there's demonstration videos. There's lots of examples of types of ads you can run. So that's what you want to jump into if you're getting into that Facebook one.
Yep. Carol says, can we come to you for personal training? That's actually something we've discussed.
Yeah, but we've got a real estate business that we do, so we're always running around ragged, So.
Oh, we might be talked into it. I don't know. Okay, next question. Gail says, personal Instagram versus business Instagram.
Business.
Okay.
Sorry. Why do I say business Instagram? So you can run ads. That's why.
Here's another great Facebook question. Raina says, but a lookalike audience is to anywhere in the U.S., correct?
So, yeah, that's true. So when you create the ad set, make sure you still use the geographic targeting. So what that's going to do is it's going to limit it to the people who are in the area. So when I kind of moved really fast through it. Yeah. All right. I'll pull it up. You want me to pull it up? I'll pull it up.
So as he pulls it up, Brian just said, I'm in. Where do I sign up? Over in the chat section. The offer just expired. Hold on. Time out. Let me.
Well, while you're doing that, yeah. I'm gonna show you how to do some of the targeting. I'm just gonna pull up. Let's pull up this bad boy here. Oops, that's not the right one.
Okay, I just re-added it, so because it had expired. Bam, there it goes. Okay, you got it.
All right, so when you're using Facebook, you create a campaign, and then you have to create an ad set within the campaign. And so what I've done is I already created that lookalike audience. So let me go in here and I'm going to get that lookalike audience. I have lots of different types of lookalike audiences. This is one based on Gary's database. I also do them off of people who visit our website because I track that. You can install the Facebook Pixel to track that. So here's the thing is that in addition to doing that lookalike, what we have to do, because it is going to be 2 million people, is we got to start narrowing it down. So let's say I wanted to be able to zero in on that Westlake area. So let's say we're just going to type in that zip code, and what that's going to do is going to start to narrow that down. Another thing I'm going to further narrow down is, well, actually I don't have to, I already have it narrowed down by age. So what that does is it takes that 2 million people from that lookalike audience and says, but within the Austin area here, that's going to be 13,000 people who are in just that particular zip code that match that criteria, right? I could expand that to, so I just picked one zip code. I could expand that to be all of the Austin area. We don't actually work the entire Austin area. That's why I don't do that. We only have a couple of pockets of Austin that we really like to spend time on. But if I were to go within just the DMA of Austin, then it's going to be that match Gary's database, because this is the location-based targeting on top of that lookalike audience. And I know that's kind of technical. More that's explained when you get into the Facebook advertising for real estate, Facebook marketing for real estate program, when we show you how to create those audiences. But I just wanted to answer that question very quickly, because I knew that person was like, hey, wait a minute, this is going to market everybody. You still have to do the geographic targeting on top of that. The thing I've been testing now is an additional layer of narrowing down that audience is people who like some of those popular home search sites, because that was actually recommended by Facebook. So I was like, oh, I might as well try that.
Nicole has a follow-up. What's the minimum number of people that you need for a lookalike campaign?
So there's a couple of different schools of thought there. And because and it has changed. And the reason I say that is because it's been changing. Facebook is now using machine learning or like artificial intelligence as part of not only what shows up in our news feeds, but also to determine who to place an advertisement to and when to place it in front of. And all of that sort of rolls into the cost and stuff like that. So part of the machine learning requires a certain size audience. And so back in the olden days, when I first started teaching it, I would have said, you know, you need probably, I don't know, 5,000 to 6,000 people. But with machine learning, a larger audience is going to be better because it's more efficient once it understands who to market to find more of those people. So, you know, I'm starting to look at audiences, you know, for just a particular area. I'm looking at audiences that are 10, 20, 30,000 people.
There you go. Another Facebook question. Susan wanted some clarification on the database. She says, do you mean the Facebook database? I have too many industry professionals in my Facebook audience. No. What the database we're talking about is your personal database, the people who know, like, and trust you. And what you do is you export that list into a CSV file, and then you go here where Chris is showing, you click on audience. You're going to select, as it pulls up, create a new audience, custom audience, and then you will upload your database there in a CSV file as a customer file. So that is exactly how you're going to do that, Susan. By the way, I think, Susan, you joined the club. What you're going to do is Chris takes you through in what's that? Bill Murray's, like Bill Murray. It's baby steps. Chris takes you through in baby steps.
What about Bob?
In What About Bob? He takes you through baby steps of exactly how to do everything that we're talking about.
Yeah, I ended up doing you're going to find that information in the Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program, but then also in the training. If you're specifically I forget who was asking about the lookalike audiences, I'm going to suggest that you go to the resource library here, and you're going to find that I recently did this training on Facebook's audience and list building tools right here. And in this particular training, we went through, show you how to use the pixel, show you how to put that on your marketing website, show you how to do a custom audience. And then there's all this training. So in addition to these help articles and downloadable support files, then I have the actual ScreenFlow training. So you just click on that. Here's the training on the Facebook lookalike feature, and it'll explain to you and do a demonstration on how to do it. Okay. Any other good questions that we have?
Oh, here? Yeah. Chris says, what do I do first again? I'm a new agent. As he said, what you want to do, the very first thing you should do is go into the club portal and go to our monthly marketing campaign.
So I'll just, here's what you're going to do. Go to the club and let's see here. We'll go by date. And basically, I'm gonna download the month's campaign so you guys can see the most recent month's campaign. So it was, where was that? It was right here, the August digital marketing campaign. So you'll come into here, and then the campaign file is located here. So I'm just gonna download that bad boy. And it has downloaded to my computer right now. And then I'm gonna open it up. and then we're going to pull it up. And so on in this file, I've downloaded this month's campaign. And what I'm going to do is open up this thing called support file. All right, I'm going to open that up. And the reason why I suggest everyone always spend a little bit of time in this support file every month is a couple of things. One is it has the prospecting letters and the scripts that you're going to need. But our team does a phenomenal job at making sure that what we provide you with is easy to implement. So you refer to the table of contents, but you're going to see that we spell out this. So it's step by step. It explains everything to do. It says here, the technology you'll need, the different steps you're going to take, the number of minutes it'll take to do each step. So it says here, like publish the blog post, customize the cover letter, edit the PDF report, email your network, right? So each step is outlined with lots of detail. So you have a high-level overview, the detail. You're going to find the email copy for the prospecting stuff in here. The phone script is in there. Text for your Facebook post. So everything that you need is located in here. And then what you do is the supporting files. So if you're going to do the Facebook post, for example, you're going to find that that's located in that support file. And then you just copy and paste the text along with it. So, but that support file is where I would start spending time getting familiar with that.
All right. Susanna says, so is Gary Kreth the same as Gary Wise? Yeah, that's me. I changed my name back to my birth name. So there you go. It is Gary Kreth now. Kelly and Felix are waiting for password reset. So here's the other thing. I'm going to give you an email address to our support. So if you joined the club and like for whatever reason, the email disappeared into your spam folder somewhere and you can't find it, if you email our team, they will get back with you and help you. I'm going to email that, or I'm going to put that into the messenger right now as I ask Chris the next question. Chris, who was that? Deborah Scott Riggs says, how long should video be? Great question.
That's a great question because most people will say videos should be short. Videos should be short and to the point. And I'm going to tell you that that's partially true. And you do have to get to the point in a very short period of time, within 30 seconds. But we have videos that are like 5-6 minutes long, and the viewership is almost 70%. So people watching the videos are almost watching 70% of the videos. So the idea of just doing a 2-minute video or a 30-second video, here's what our format for a video is. I'll give you the sort of like the video template. So for a property tour video, it should be long enough to be able to show the property. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, it might take you that video tour might be 10 minutes long because the property is really big, or it might be 5 minutes long because it's not as big. But what's important is people think that, oh, they only watched 50% of the video. That must mean the video didn't work. No, you just captured somebody's attention for 2.5 minutes, right? So if you only did a 30-second video and you could have had a 2.5 minutes. So who's to say, with every video we create, it could be 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long. There's a percentage of the people who watch the whole thing. And that percent, the more somebody watches, that's because that person's more engaged, right? So someone who's watching the whole property tour video, what do you think they're in the market for? Do you think they're more likely to buy than someone who only watches 30 seconds of it?
I'm going to go with yes.
Yes, right? We have, if you go to our YouTube channel, in fact, I'll pull up our YouTube channel. You're going to see on our YouTube channel, we have lots of what I refer to as expert videos. And our expert videos is just Gary and myself talking about stuff, right? So let me just go to my channel. And you'll see that there's lots of videos of us just talking about stuff. Here's one on how to choose your real estate agent. I used a little YouTube ad there.
Yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt.
I know. It's like Gary's favorite shirt. Check out this one. So here's just a video. Let me hit stop here. This video is 5 minutes and 54 seconds, and it's answering the question on what's going on in the Austin market. I think I spent around $50 or something like that, and we had 9,740.
10,000 views? That's awesome.
I know. A lot of people watch this guy.
Bravo.
So to answer this question, it took us 5 minutes. And the viewership, I want to say on this one is, like I said, it was close to 70%. It was like 65 or something like that.
Yeah. And
what does that mean? That means on average, people watched more than half of this 5-minute video. Now, if I only made a 1-minute video, well, I would have missed out on 2.5 minutes of watch time, right? Because the people who are watching this are interested. And as evidenced by just the sheer number of people, because it really didn't cost a lot of money to get all of those viewers. $50 is not a lot of money to have 10,000 people in the Austin area.
Exactly right.
10,000 people in the Austin area who are thinking of moving. The great thing about the Google and YouTube advertising tools, and I show people this in the training sessions, is that Google now allows you to just choose audiences. There's like a likely to move audience in Google AdWords. It's called Google Ads now. It used to be called Google AdWords. It's the same platform for doing YouTube ads as doing Google ads. And there is a audience category called moving soon. And it's based off of all the website traffic of people visiting different sites and using Google as the source of, hey, this is the audience of people who are moving soon. And so they translate that between people who are searching on Google to people who are on YouTube. And it's a very effective way of getting in front of the right person at the right time.
All right. Jerry said, I paid process, but it won't allow the login, just keeps going back to sign in. Try resetting your password. Again, here's what's going to happen is, well, let me answer Leslie's question real quick. Leslie said, I'm in, where's the link again? I'm going to post that link in the chat section so you can join the club. So click on that link, and here's what's going to happen. It's going to take you to a page. There is no promo code because you're using that specific link. You're going to get the 8-week marketing plan template that you can download and modify and customize for your own. You're going to get our Facebook marketing for real estate program, which is normally $600. And right now, during this broadcast, you are going to receive our 30-day action plan summary. So this is a plan that you download. Heck, you can print it out and you go through and you just follow for the next 30 days everything that we recommend that you do. It's so easy. Go in there and do that. And
you're going to get those things when you join the club. Remember, when you join the club, you're getting our real estate training library. You're getting the monthly marketing campaign every single month. You're getting a marketing website. You get to join us on group coaching sessions. You get access to the private Facebook group. So you're going to get all of those when you join the club today.
So go click on that blue link. It is the paperlessagent.com/listing-boss. Just click on the link and
you'll sign up.
And Celia just clarified, what I found was that the link and the password were sent to my email, which I didn't know was going to happen. Yes, as soon as you sign up, you're going to receive a couple of emails. One is going to be the confirmation with a receipt. And then the second one is going to have your login, password, and the link to go do that. So go check your spam folder. Go check if you're using Gmail, it could end up in your promotions tab, but more than likely, if it doesn't show up in your inbox, it is probably in your spam folder. So go do that. Chris is showing you the page that you'll sign up with. So this is where you go to sign up. You'll just go in, input your information. You'll see it's simply $67 a month. And you'll also see that you can cancel at any time. And you're getting, what is it, several thousand, $1,500 or something worth of bonuses when you sign up.
By the way, for those of you who want to know how to cancel, right, when you sign up, you just go to my account when you go log into there, and there's a cancel your membership link. So you don't need to call us or any of that stuff. It's just all done online.
Yep. And Doug said, this is a no-brainer. I just joined. Thank you for saying that, Doug. We want to make it a no-brainer. We want to give you everything that we are doing in our marketing and sales operation here.
And that's one of the things that you're going to find is that we're doing this too. Like, you know, last night I was just working on a property landing page for one of the listings that we're going to put on the market tomorrow, right? So
I may wait a couple of days because I want to season it online.
Gotcha. Well, so we might season it online with the Just Listed campaign that I'm going to create for it later today.
Yep.
But we're doing this stuff, and so here's what happens because we're doing it is we're facing a lot of the same challenges that you do. We get to experience all kinds of different situations. We get to put our heads together and figure out solutions and then share that with you guys. But also we find that a lot of you, our clients who are sharing information on the private Facebook group, are more savvy than Gary and myself. So I think it's a community of learning here. We have a whole community of people trying to achieve the same thing. So you're not trying to go this alone. I think one of the things in real estate that can get a little isolating is that, you get into it and then you're kind of on your own out there. You know what I mean? Like you might be in an office with people or on a team and stuff, but it's like, all right, go do that thing, you know? And so it's really helpful to have a lot of other, we have so many members who are really supportive and generous with their knowledge and sharing what they know and what's working, and even tools and resources that they've gone and created to be able to share that with the, everybody in the community.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that's encouraging when you're trying to go at this thing, right? Because you're going to hit a lot of I mean, normal, for those of you who are new or you've been in this for just a couple of years, I mean, you're hitting friction, right? Like there's friction. There's a lot of friction. Those who've been in the business know that there's friction that we're trying to overcome to be able to achieve our goals and stuff that we have in real estate. So much easier to do that with a group of all of us working towards the same objective than just trying to like hustle it on your own. You know what I mean?
Because that ain't gonna cut it. Chris says, if we miss the next coaching session, can we watch it after?
Yep, they're all, the training library contains an archive of every single session that we've done. So yes, you'll be able to go in there. Most people watch it after the fact, in fact, because it's more convenient for them to do so. It's nice to be able to have your, and the reason why people do show up to them though, is that you can get your questions answered, because it's a smaller audience of folks. We're able to spend more time answering questions. We usually have several team members also in the chat answering individual questions that people have, in addition to getting access to Gary and myself to answer those questions. So it's a very it's a productive time for people who show up live,
yeah.
But it is useful to get the training after the fact as well.
Absolutely. Okay, quick shout out to Darcy, Edward, Doug, Jean, Donna, Linda, Audra, Darren, Bob, Maritza, Bukra, Lynn, Brandon, Jennifer, Diane, Mayumi, Eddie, Marilyn, and more. Welcome to the coaching club. If you're kind of still on the fence, take it from me, take it from all of our new members, and take it from our existing members who have been there. We have coaching members who have been with us for 5 years now.
Yeah. You know, I suggest that you do. We're about to close. I'm anticipating that Gary's saying we're past our time.
We've been here for an hour and 43 minutes.
No, I can feel it.
So go do it now. Go sign up. I'm going to put that link again into the chat box because I know you need it. And so there you go. Go do that. And next question I have is from Cindy. Is there an easy way to import contacts from Facebook into my personal database?
From Facebook into your personal database?
You used to be able to. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that anymore. No, there's not an easy way to do it, but you know, to be honest with you, I know we're all about like the easy import, but you know what one of Gary's practices is to cull his database is Gary goes through his database and literally looks at each contact record and asks, do I have the right information? What's going on in this person's life? Do I need to update it? Do I need to send them a message? So like there is a lot of value in just even going through that Facebook list to say, gosh, maybe I'm going to go and copy and paste their name and their information into my CRM. I should probably send them a message via Facebook. Yeah. So, bump open a little messenger window, chat in there, just checking in, seeing what you're doing. By the way, here's a link to my most recent campaign where we talked about, getting your home ready for sale or increasing your home equity, whatever you think would be appropriate for that individual. And, shoot them off a little personal one-on-one message while you're going through that. Make that time work for you.
Yep.
Now, I will say, you want to know the hack around it, though?
Yeah, I want the hack.
So for those of you with smartphones, and particularly with the iPhone, I know there's a way to do this on Android as well. On the iPhone, though, if you're using an iPhone, one of the things that you all have on your iPhone is this thing called Contacts. All right, so the Contacts app actually starts to bring in apps from all the different places where you email and so on and so forth. Right. So you can export from Contacts and get a lot of these right off your phone into your CRM.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Brian says, I've been in real estate almost 2 years and I'm struggling with making my business consistent. Boy, you nailed it right there. Consistency. How can this help? I want to get over the ups and downs. Okay, Chris, I'm just going to ask you the question. How can this help somebody be consistent?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of times when we talk about doing any kind of marketing activity or sales activity, And I'm going to zero in on the marketing one just because that's my domain of expertise. But it definitely, it's same within sales as well. It's doing sales activity. So here's what happens. Let's say we're doing this marketing and we're doing it consistently every month. Is that people continuously see and are reminded of us and see us providing value because we're providing useful information. We're reaching out. We're staying in touch. We're sending messages. We're leaving voicemails. We're doing the whole bit, right? Now, the question to ask is, what happens when I stop doing that? You want to understand how this keeps you consistent is ask the question, what happens when I stop doing these things? Well, that's where the break in business happens, because here's what will happen. Like you might get a deal, and what you stop doing? You stop doing the stuff that got you the deal in the first place.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's the biggest issue, where the inconsistency happens on two levels. One is when we stop doing what is the activity that created the business in the first place. And then the second thing is the seasonality in our industry, right? We have this calendar year in which people start to, and it's also like self-fulfilling. As we start to approach the holidays, we say to ourselves, no one's going to buy or sell a home right now. So
and you know what most realtors do? They tell their clients, yeah, let's take your home. Let's wait until springtime.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Instead of taking that mode on, is one, keep doing the activities, the marketing, the prospecting, the sales activities, the things that we're telling you to do by implementing these monthly campaigns. Keep doing these things, right, every single month, because that's what produces the business. Now, here's the thing. As we start to approach the end of the year, it's going to be important for you to ramp up some of those activities, meaning that in addition to this, you'll want to run things like your home anniversary campaign, which we've talked about on yesterday's coaching session that's in the training library. You want to run things like the Move Up program that we talked about on the August 1st coaching session of this month. So go into the training library, learn about those additional campaign types to run. But by ramping up your activity, what happens? Well, where it would normally be a lull of the season, the lull won't be so low, right? And so, in fact, if you really work the angle and you do some good positioning on why winter's a good time to sell and so on and so forth, you might find that, because especially since you knew and you've already had problems hitting consistency, is that you might have a better winter than you had as a summer. But I think the biggest thing is that people, how many times, and I know how many times you encounter someone who says, I can't do this because I have 2 buyers that I'm working with right now. Like, I mean, I hear. How many times? They get busy? How many times do you know one of the agents that you worked with in the past?
So here's what happens: is they're like, I've got a couple of buyers,
and I don't have time to do this.
No time to stay in touch with people, and I'm like, you have no time not to stay in touch with people. And here's the thing: is what I think where people get blocked, Chris, is that in real estate we're lone rangers, or we think we are. And so what we do is we get into this business and we think, I have to do everything on my own. And that means I have to write the monthly email newsletter. I have to post it on my page. I have to email it out. Then I have to do all these other things. And here's the reality is, back when I started selling real estate, I had to do that because there was nobody else out there giving me these things to send out every single month. And so what do we do now? What we do is we create this for you. So we take that chunk of time where you have to learn how to be a professional copywriter. You have to go find the images. You have to find relevant information. No, we're going to do that for you. We pay to have a copywriter professionally write these emails for you, professionally write scripts and dialogues for you, professionally write these newsletters for you. And all you have to do is literally take your database and email this to your database.
Gary, another thing that I think is a mindset issue is not realizing the length of time necessary to achieve consistency. So in the real estate business, it's been my observation that we run on about a 90-day cycle, meaning the marketing and sales activities that I'm doing today, I really won't see the fruits of and the results from that activity until around 90 days from now. Right. So and that 90-day horizon, it seems like forever in real estate. It
does seem like forever, but here's the issue, is that if you don't do it now,
in 90 days, you pay the price.
Exactly. And also, so many people, they quit. And so here's a horrible statistic. 87% of new realtors leave the business within 3 years. And it's because they don't have the tools and the systems and the practices in order to have a sustainable business. They don't have the education. They don't have the right stuff. And that's what we're giving you.
Well, another part of it too is the passivity that's common amongst our industry. I mean, we have become, through a number of different circumstances that are really not because of our own doing, but it's really just through the lineage of learning, was that we've become a generation of order takers in real estate. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah, because we sit around and we wait for business to come to us. Instead, we need to be that professional salesperson out there offering help, not being an order taker, but become that professional. And this is the program that is going to take you from 0 to 60 faster than anything else. So, Chris, we actually have a conference call with our book editor.
Oh, that's right. We're writing a book.
Yeah. So we're writing a book. You can look forward to that coming out later this year.
Oh, but we should probably sign off here. We've been here almost 2 hours, and we do have to have that call. Okay.
And we still have a ton of people here. But here's what I want you to do. If you haven't joined the club yet, do yourself a favor. Give yourself a treat. Go join the club right now. It's $67 a month. Go in there, look around, make sure that the value is there. If you're like, nah, I'm out, which I don't think you will, you can cancel. It's no big deal. But you need to do it right now so you can get that 8-week marketing plan template. This is the document that helped me beat out 7 other really competent realtors on a $900,000 listing recently. You're going to get the Facebook marketing for real estate. And right now only, you're going to get our 30-day sales action plan that is going to help you stay on track and launch you off into your business. So go do that right now. Join us online. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody who joined us today. We had a lot of fun sharing this with you. Chris, I don't know about you, but I think this is probably one of my favorites.
You know, I love sharing this information because I do know that it produces a result. And here's the thing. How do I know that? I get client feedback, but I also know that that's the business. It's the same business we're in. So when we get results,
if it works for me, it's going to work for you. So go do it right now. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate all of our newest club members. Don't forget, when you join the club, go to the private Facebook group. Just search the Paperless Agent Coaching Club and join that group, and we'll see you online.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll see you on the next. We'll see them on the next coaching session. If you're going to join us live, that'll be on September 5th. And until then, we'll see you on the private Facebook group, and we'll see you online.
Take care.